Everybody will get that obnoxious announcement that it's recording. Hi, everybody. How are you? It has been a Monday over here. It is the first Monday of the month, first Monday of the year. And it was a doozy in the Pierce household, let me tell you, but that's okay. We're here now. It's settled in my house. It's quiet for the first time. We got back from Disney on Saturday, and I've had a house full of people since, and now everybody's gone and it's quiet. So I'm grateful for that. But how is everybody doing? Did everybody have a good Christmas and New Year? I hope so. I'm going to go ahead and get started. We will honor your time tonight and stay within 30 minutes, hopefully, and get you on out. But we just wanted to share a little bit of our heart. My name is Alli Pierce, if you don't know me. And yeah, I am under Morgan. I'm a senior gold right now, so close to Ruby. We ran for Ruby last month and just missed it by a couple of orders. And I want to first off start by saying that it is okay to miss your goals. It is okay. I have done it time and time again. I ran for senior gold. The first time I ran, I missed it by 5 orders. The first time I ran for senior Ruby hard, I probably missed it by 10. Is that right? 10? No, I don't know. 10 or 20, one of those. And then this last month, I missed it by 2 orders. It's okay. It happens. So it's a learning process. There's always something to learn. Always, always, always. And I am a firm believer in that. And I will say that, like, was there disappointment? Sure. But I think that there is such beauty in knowing that there's something to learn, because then your perspective shifts. And so if I just focused on the fact that, like, God was teaching me something in that, my mind stayed so much better. Okay. Anyways. But Morgan asked me to share tonight some of my top tips on how I got my business and shifted my business from just kind of gliding through to momentum. And so I just kind of wrote some things down, and I'm going to go through it. The first thing I wrote down is get into action. This is something that I hear all the time, and it is so, so true. Don't just scroll social media. I'm so guilty of that. I do that all the time. I love to just scroll. Honestly, like, I could just scroll all day. I love it. I love looking at people's lives. I love following the people that I follow on Instagram. But when I get into that mode of just scrolling, my action is nothing. I'm not being purposeful in what I'm doing on social media. And so my goal is to always be purposeful first, do what I need to do my IPA, and hone in on that first. And then I can scroll if I want to, if I have time later. I usually don't have time, but that's okay. Maybe when I'm laying in bed before I go to sleep. But I try to focus. That's like a number one tip for me. For personally, that's what I do, is when I sit down and I have time on my phone, I make sure my IPA is done first before I do anything else, so that I'm not aimlessly scrolling social media. 2, events. Get to an event. And I want to stress this because we have events coming up. We have convention, and we're starting the convention run now for all of those prizes. They are starting now. And the top tier is like $2,500. Like, hello, yes, I want that. So I'm going for that hard, but host events with your team. You don't have to just go to a Plexus event. Those are great. Leaders are born there. That's what we would love to do. But those aren't happening all the time. Host events, host personal events in your home, in people's home, in team members' homes, host events online. That is something that my team did this past 2 months, as we've really been honing in on hosting events, messenger thread events, sip and sees. We hosted Stephanie and I hosted a sip and see at her house back in November. And I'm going to be honest with you, it wasn't necessarily a success. In fact, we signed one person, and that person is no longer with us. But it's okay, because what it did, it allowed us to invite our team members, and that's who showed up, to be honest with you. We had a few team members there, and it created culture on our team. It grew us closer together. It created that culture that I've been looking for, that I've been wanting, that camaraderie that we wanted between us. And that was the win. of our sip and see. It wasn't the fact that we signed one person. It was the fact that we had that time together to learn and grow from it, and then do it again, try again, do it better next time. And so events are huge. Hosting them is a great way to get into action, to see results in your team. That is an amazing way. It builds belief. Another thing I wrote down, which I think is so true, an event doesn't have to be like a sip and see or a 15 messenger event. It's also things like this, like team Zooms. Committing to being on our team Zoom every Monday night is an event. It's an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to grow. It's an opportunity to invite your team members to. And it's also a training, which is my next point, is watch trainings. I committed to watch those diamonds in December, all December long, and I did it and I loved it. And I think it's so huge. If you haven't done that, if you have not watched all of the diamonds in December, I challenge you to do that this month. Do it in January. If you've done it and you don't know where to turn to now, message me. I can send you some of my favorite people to watch. But I will watch a training, at least a training a day. I try my very hardest, at least during the week. And I watch it when I'm doing mundane tasks in my home, while I'm washing the dishes, while I'm cooking dinner, while I'm driving to work. Those are when I listen to those trainings, and they are so beneficial, because even if it's something that you've listened to before, if you listen to it again, it gets in your brain and you're able to then like hold it in here and then use it later, if that makes sense. Like it comes and it flows through. And so I think it's so important to get those trainings in our brain. Let's see what's next. I talked about attending events. Oh, I wanted to touch on, so this was a point more about like attending Plexus events or attending events that are put on by our team. And those are so important. And I wanted to touch on why those are important. Stephanie and I went to the Nashville event. What is it called? I'm drinking out of the cup right now. Daring to be Diamond event in Nashville. We went to that back in October, I believe. And it was such a huge turning point in my business. And I didn't necessarily see that turning point until November, really until December. But it was such a mindset shift for me. It changed so much of my thinking, so much of my belief in myself. I had the belief in the business like through the roof, and I had belief in others through the roof, even people on my team. But the belief in myself was so not there. Like, I don't want to say it was so low, but it was just, I don't know, stagnant maybe. Like I wasn't growing. My belief wasn't growing. It wasn't building. And it was such a turning point for us. And so, and I think Stephanie will touch on this too. It was for her as well. And so it was so awesome to get to go to that, number one, but then to bring a team member with me was huge, because it not only built my belief, but it built her belief, and it built our belief together, and it bonded us closer, and it created I don't know, a duo that I feel like is unstoppable. We're going all the way. So next thing is goal setting. If you are not actively goal setting at the beginning of each month, I challenge you to do that. If you haven't done that yet, sit down tonight and do it. Write out your goals. Where did you end last month? Where do you want to be at the end of this month? Where do you want to be at the end of the year? I challenge you to sit down and look at the whole year. This is a new year. We're like right here at the very beginning. It's awesome because anything's possible between now and December 31st of this year. Anything is possible. Where do you want to be? Do you want to be ruby? Do you want to be senior ruby? Do you want to be emerald? Do you want to be diamond? What do you want to be at the end of the year? And then break it down. What do you need to do every single month to make sure that you get to that goal? And then what do you need to do every week to make sure you're getting to that goal? And then what do you need to do every single day to make sure you're getting to that goal? Break it down into small bits that you can grab onto that then will reach that goal. And if you don't reach that goal, it's okay. It is okay. My goal in 2021 was to be emerald by December 31st. I wasn't even ruby. It's okay. So much was learned along the way, and I built my team. And if I were to look at where I wanted to be, I heard this in Kristen Boss's training the other day. If there's something called the gain and the gap, if I was to focus on the gap, so the gap would be, this is where I was and this is where I wanted to be. And I focus on the gap between those two and all that I missed, rather than this is where I was and this is where I am and the gain that I got there. That is so much better to focus on. If I focused on the gap, my mindset would be in the pooper. But because I'm focusing on the gain, my mindset is positive. I'm thinking about all the good things that happened on my team this year. I'm thinking about all that can happen in this coming year if we continue to build on that. And so anyways, the gain and the gap method is that again shifted my mindset last week. Okay, so map it out. If you would like to earn something in the tiers for the convention contest, if you don't know what I'm talking about, for Success Sprints this quarter, it's the convention contest. So a lot of it is cash prizes or events at the convention. And so if you are wanting to earn something, sit down. Where do you want to be? You have 3 months to meet it. Again, we're at the very beginning of this quarter. Anything is possible. You could win all of it if you wanted to. I fully believe that. But sit down now and map it out. What do you need to do to reach that goal? And then map that out for each month. Like, go ahead and see, okay, what do I need to do in January to make sure that I meet that by March 30th? What do I need to do? Make sure that you're mapping that out. Okay. All right. Something that I've always heard is that if you treat this business like a hobby, you will have a paycheck that looks like it's a hobby. But if you treat it as a business, you will have a paycheck to reflect that it is a business. And let me tell you, it took me way too long to understand that all the way. And it is so true. When I started sitting down and being purposeful with my time and my IPA, everything shifted in my business. Everything shifted in my business. And so if you will sit down and give yourself an hour a day to work on this, 2 hours a day to work on this, 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes at night, 15 minutes here, 15 minutes here, 15 minutes here. I don't care how that looks for you, whatever that looks like for you. For me, it looks like when I get home from work, I put my baby down for a nap. I put my nephew down for a nap, and then I sit on the couch for as long as they'll give me while they're napping. And I hone in on my IPA. I have it written out. I know exactly what I need to do. And so I'm not dilly-dallying on my phone. I'm not scrolling social media. I am being purposeful in my time. So that is my encouragement for you today. Goal set, get into action, get to events, host events. All of those things are what have shifted my business in the last few months. And now you get to hear from one of my favorite people in the world. Stephanie has been a rock star. She had an amazing December. She ranked up 3 times. Her husband's account went gold. Her account went Fast Start Silver and Fast Start Senior Silver last month. She added 13 new ambassadors. 13 new VIPs. And I am so, so proud of her. And now she has people reaching out to her for the business because she's being consistent. She's showing up. And I'm just so proud of her. So Stephanie, take it away.
Hi, everyone. As Alli said, I'm Stephanie. That's one of my besties over there. And it's so awesome being able to run together. And it's an honor to be here tonight and to share with y'all. Back when the fourth quarter sprints were announced, I did not think that where I am today was even attainable. I did not think it was possible. And I remember sitting down, I had taken the leap of faith to join Alli in the Daring to be Diamond event. And Krista asked us to write 3 affirmations to speak over ourselves daily and to envision ourselves and to have goals. And 3 things that I wrote was 1, I am gold. 2, I am creative. And 3, I am enough. And I'm going to try not to get choked up on that. But those 2 were something that I personally have really struggled with. Gold at that point seemed really far out of reach. I was just silver and I was teetering on the line because it was just those family members that joined with me. but I knew the supplements worked. I knew I loved this. I was talking to people, I was posting about it, I was reaching out. And then Allie and I went to Nashville, and everything changed for me, personally, just in me. Um, so I believed in everyone else. I believed in the products. I believed that it was possible to go far, but I never believed in it for myself. And so, and it honestly would not have been that way unless, the night before, if we had not had the encounter time, because God had done something really big in me that night. And I was able to receive during the conference and learn to dream for the first time. And so I went home and I just decided to sit down with my husband, Trey, and we shared our dreams for the first time together. We're high school sweethearts. We've been together 14 years. And so for the first time, we really sat down, not just the, hey, I want to have kids dreams, but like the big dreams, the goals, like, this is what I want to accomplish, not me accomplishing something through you and just getting, part of it, but like something I want to accomplish. And so we began, to just kind of talk that out. And that the end of October, we also made a promise to each other that before we went to bed, we were going to pray over those dreams, that we were going to pray over those goals, and we were going to pray over our team and the people who have trusted us, in ordering these supplements. And so, that month I ended up with, Senior Silver under my husband's account. And so Allie and I mapped out what was needed for leaders. And when she sat down and she told me how many people I had to get ordered, I about threw up, y'all. I was like, are you serious? There's no way, especially like with how hard it was for me to reach Senior Silver. I had gone from July 1st, I signed up under Alli. I had been taking the supplements for a year before that, and then, signed up under Alli in July. And so here we are, the end of October, and I'm like, I don't think this is possible. So, the beginning of the month, I was always ready to run, and I would do all the things I was posting, and I would still continue to show up every day, do my IPAs. I know personally one of my goals this year is to get better at IPAs, to get more organized, more time management. I had a toddler at home. I was pregnant with our second on the way. And so there was a lot of obstacles in my way at that time, but I showed up. And that was the biggest thing. And so I would hit the middle of the month and I would just hit this big discouragement. I'm like, I haven't signed anybody. I haven't gotten there. I'd be asking my husband, am I just wasting my time? Am I wasting your time? Am I wasting our family's time? What are we doing? And, it would always go back to, no, this is a lie. And I know it was a lie. And I would always go back to, these supplements work. That's why I'm here, to love and to serve others. And it was always just getting back into that perspective for me and not letting that mindset take over. And then I would have a conversation with somebody, and even if they didn't buy, it still ignited that fire in me just to want to go further, because I loved sharing. It was truly a passion of mine. And so even if it didn't go anywhere, it was just something that was so thrilling, just to have somebody have the curiosity to know they're paying attention. That means they're watching. So even if in a conversation it doesn't end with a purchase and somebody doesn't sign up, still take that as a win, because they reached out to you, and it's just a matter of time because they're curious and they're watching. So don't give up on them. I had somebody this month that signed up after 6 months of talking to them. They saw my first post and they signed up this month. So don't give up, y'all. On November 20th, we were surprised with, our son coming a couple weeks early. And I, again, was nowhere near this goal. I was barely, getting into my back office and trying to check things out and see where I was. But we hit Thanksgiving week and I was sleep deprived and all the things, but I was just not going to give up. And so everything tried to stack up against me, between sleep deprivation, postpartum depression that tried to creep in, holiday stress, and navigating going from 1 to 2 kids and new routines. My management probably didn't look very pretty, if I have to be honest. I was not handling everything very well. But every day when I pulled myself together, I called that a win. And I learned to give myself grace in those periods of time. And Trey knew where I was at emotionally, and Alli in our life group was really praying for me. And the beauty of it through these supplements and reminding myself that they worked was that even though postpartum depression and the lie of the enemy tried to creep in, I was able to recognize exactly what it was, and that it wasn't from God, and that I could overcome it, and I could be vulnerable and share with others what was going on, and get the help that I needed. And I reached out to Krista, and she really helped me alter my regimen just to combat those postpartum depression symptoms that were trying to sneak in. And so, praise God, we got through that. And Christmas week came, and we had craziness hit. I enrolled a couple people in November, but again, I was still nowhere near winning leaders retreat. And so we had our newborn son's name incorrect. So we're trying to get insurance for him. The hospital processed that all wrong. And then both kids got sick, and urgent care visits, AC units going out, bills piling up, and me just going, okay, God, you're in control of this, because I don't know what I'm doing. And so anyways, as soon as we got the AC quote, I wanted to throw up. I was like, I don't know how we're going to reach this goal. And I knew God was faithful and that we would get through it. And so Christmas Day, I had a friend reach out to me who, my friend Janady, and she said her sister wanted to sign up under her. And y'all, it was like, that was a goal in and of itself, was to have somebody love the supplements as much as I do, even if they don't want to do the business, to have them have the heart to share it with somebody. And so all these things were going on around me, and I just felt that passion ignite again. And it was like, okay, this is why I'm doing this. And just those reminders. And I wish that I had made the Diamonds in December more of a priority. My goal actually this month is to go back through all of them. So if you didn't get through them, tell yourself, hey, I'm going to start January and I'm going to go through them this month. I might not have been able to, but it's 2022 and it's not too late. That's why they're available for us. And so I can't wait to go back through that and just focus on my goals this year and just channel into that, and knowing like I could not have done what I did the end of December without my husband. We are a team. He stepped up in a way that I cannot even begin to explain. And something that ignited in me to even push for this was the Monday after Christmas, when Chelsea and Latoya shared. And Chelsea just shared with so much grace and vulnerability and humility on how she had not even won leaders retreat herself at that point, and that she was going for it with us. And I'm sitting there going, you are so far above me. How are you not there? And you just think. And so even if somebody's ranks above you, you don't know where they're at in those goals. And so it's really cool on these team meetings just to be able to also have that community that says, hey, you're not in this alone. And, we're here to get through this together. We're all reaching for these goals, and don't think just because somebody ranks above you or ranks below you, don't assume where they're at. And that was a big lesson for me to learn. And I appreciated her vulnerability. I appreciated Latoya's story on where she sat at Senior Gold for so many years, and then where her momentum came in. And so I looked at Trey and I said, okay, there's only a couple days left of this month, but I'm going for it. And also another part of the trip, that there was a very personal meaning to winning this trip for me. And so to have a trip, Trey and I have never gone on a trip together, just us without family. And so to be able to win something, we've had circumstances come up every time we've booked a trip together. And so I was like, you know what, we're going to do this. I wasn't even thinking about all the finances and what a blessing it would be. It was just, this is the goal I set. when the sprints were announced, and I'm going to get there. And so Trey stayed home, and Trey, Thursday or Wednesday night, I reached out to Alli at like 11 o'clock saying I wanted to host an event, my first event. And because I had seen how they worked, and she mapped it out for me. She gave me the resources I needed. Events are incredible, y'all. I spent all day Thursday while Trey was home from work, and he stayed home as a sacrifice for our family and for my goals and my dreams. Watched our kids. There was chaos going around. I thought somebody was going to kill one or the other. Trey was just, oh gosh, a 2.5-year-old boy, a baby screaming, and he's just going, I'm not used to this because I'm not home all the time. So I'm sure y'all can understand that when your husbands come home and the kids are going crazy, and they step in. So he stayed home and he just let me focus. And so I got ready for that event, and I challenged myself. I reached out to people who I saw following my posts, who liked them. They might not have ever responded to me. They might not have ever reached out to me, but they were following it. They were following my goals, and Krista helped me map out exactly what I needed, and so I went for it. I made the goal post, which quite honestly made me want to throw up on where I was at and admitting what my goal was, because I said, people are probably going to not want to follow me. I'm annoying. Here I am. And after that first goal post, I thought, okay, if I keep doing this, I'm really going to lose everybody. But I pushed through, and I pulled my family into it, and they were willing to be a part of it. My 2.5-year-old son loved it. He got jealous when his dad got in a picture with me and he wasn't in there. So it was definitely a family affair. And, I explained to my son, like when he was like, Mommy, hold me. And he would sit in my lap, but he would want me to go do something. And Mom was getting ready for the event. And so Trey was really awesome about we've tried to balance it where he didn't feel like I was absent, but that I was able to focus. And so it was a really big team effort on that part. Sorry, y'all, I am just going off over here. But that event was really encouraging for me because one, I showed up, I did it. And now events from now on are just going to get easier, going to get more comfortable. I'm going to step out of my comfort zone and reach out to more people. And it's just going to get better from here. And so the Sip and See was awesome that Alli and I hosted. Yes, there was a lot that came afterwards that we did not expect. But it gave me the confidence to step out and do that messenger event, and nobody ordered from that, but I'm still getting questions from it. So they might not have taken advantage of the amazing sale that was being offered that day, but don't worry, they're still watching, and they're wanting to look at you to see if you're consistent too. And that's something that I've learned. And so, so I said, I knew I had 8 more people to go, and I just thought, how am I going to do this? The most I've ever seen is 5 in a month, and I have 3.5 days to go. So I just kept showing up. I just kept posting. I kept being obnoxious. I thought I needed to call all my friends and family and apologize to them if they were following me on social media, because God only knows what they were thinking. But I had cousins reach out, and who I know follow me, but all of a sudden they're going, okay, you know what? I want to try this. This sounds really cool. And so don't ever feel like your goals and your dreams, if someone unfollows you, they unfollow you. And that's something that I'm learning, is just to have a tougher skin and to keep pressing in. And so it's just amazing to see what all transpired within those 3 days. And Alli and I, when I tell you, I had 6 people on New Year's Eve, and it was because I was consistent. I was reaching out every chance I got to people who were on my team. I was asking them, hey, do you have anybody that wants to try it? These sales are amazing. I mean, you can't pass it up. And so they're going, well, I don't really want to do the business, but I know you're reaching for a goal, so I want to help you. And they became excited to join in with me on my goal. They became excited to rally behind me, even if they just started the supplements themselves. They were just like, I mean, I like them, what I can tell so far. And so it was really cool to see. And Alli was in Disney, and we're rallying behind each other. We hit the afternoon, and I'm thinking, everybody's got New Year's Eve plans. They're not going to be paying attention to this. Nobody's going to be ordering past dinner. And so I started getting discouraged because I had 4 orders left to go. And I'm going, oh, this isn't going to happen. I thought I had 3, but there was a question. So I was like, you know, I'm telling myself it's 4. So we hit dinner and all of a sudden my phone starts blowing up and Trey's just like, go to a quiet place, do what you need to do, and I'll see you in a little bit. And so I did that and I was able to talk with people and share with them. And I really thought nobody's going to be paying attention to this. And I tell you, at 11:59, I enrolled my last one just by showing up and reaching out to people out of my comfort zone. And whether they were following, whether they were just friends of mine that I hadn't talked to in a while, I made it personal. I made it very engaging with them. And it was just the coolest thing. And Trey and we just went to bed so thankful, and we prayed throughout this whole process. We just gave it to God because honestly, God is the one that makes us successful, and we know that. And for those on this team that believe that as well, and I know a lot of us do, and so we just surrendered that. We know, and so we just kept going back to that. And so we got the orders in and we knew Alli was still working on her goal too. So there's something about rallying together, you know, don't do these goals alone. There's something so exciting where even if you reach your goal and you know you're helping somebody else, it's like, man, keep going. It's just so exciting. And that's what we did. I mean, I wanted to run around the house. I was so excited and I felt so much adrenaline going through me just from just from everything. Another thing is just working together, but I'm so proud of my leader, Alli, and just the humility, the vulnerability, just the grace that she has shown to go from being 10, 15 orders away last month to 2 this month, and just how she knows like it's in God's hands, it's in God's timing, and just how she leads our team with such a genuine heart and a heart to serve others. And, you know, I just am so excited to do this with y'all and to be able to share this with you. And I'm so excited for what 2022 has to hold. And some of my goals going into this year that I wrote down was, and this is what I'm learning to do, is that I'm going to start writing down my goals at the beginning of the month, start doing those IPAs. And so my goal by convention would be to be Ruby or Senior Ruby. I wrote this while we were in Nashville. Originally, I wrote Senior Gold, and Xandra and Alli looked at me and told me I had lost my mind. And basically they've reached over and erased it for me. And then I want to start doing a training a day, even with a newborn, just making sure I prioritize that, whether it's in the evening when my husband gets home and I just say, okay, I'm going away for 20 minutes. I'm going to let you hold down the fort, whatever time that looks like, and that I need to make it work. I want to make that work. And so y'all hold me accountable to that. And I want to be a better leader. I want to learn to help and serve others and steward them in their business as well. And biggest and most of all, and this is one of those things, is doing it scared. Today, when we were asked to come on here, I said yes, but I'm doing it scared. You know, this is new to all of us. And so another goal to me that might be insane, but it would be to pay off our debt. And y'all, another thing I forgot to mention, and this was just so cool, is when all these things started happening and I triple ranked this month, we were sitting there going, I don't know how we're going to pay for all the things that are piling up on us between hospital deductibles and a new AC unit and all this that happened within a couple weeks. And here I am, I triple ranked, and I'm going, oh my goodness, and the bonuses that came with that. And so it's just amazing what happens. And I just told myself, I'm putting it in God's hands and I'm going to trust that he has a plan for it. And so to me, for 2022, I would love to be able to see debt paid off, even a car paid off, and not have that car payment. So that's like one of our big prayers this year. And that's what I'm going for, is one, to be a better leader, to steward my time better, and to be engaged with my family when it's family time, but when it's work time, to be able to show up and love others. And so I appreciate y'all listening. I'm sorry I probably rambled on, but it's so awesome to be here with y'all. And I'm going to pass it back to Alli now.
No, you did amazing. You did so, so good. I love the story of her month in December. It was so fun to watch, the excitement, the adrenaline. We were in Disney World on New Year's Eve, and Lance looked at me at like 11 o'clock and he's like, I'm done. Like, are you ready to go? Like, I know we're still here and it's like only an hour to fireworks, but like, can we go? And I was like, I'm good. Like, I'm riding teacups, riding Dumbo 3 times. Like, me and Emmy are living our best life. And he's over there dying. But I was so amped up on adrenaline from all that we were doing on my team, and everybody was just killing it. But anyways, one thing that I wrote down after listening to Stephanie is watching your team members reach their goals is probably one of the best things I've ever experienced in my life. And in turn, you end up reaching goals yourself, right? Like, helping your people is how you get further along in this business. And I think that that was something that I so learned this month, is focusing in and honing in on those people. KK told me that when I ran for Ruby the first time. She's like, hone in on the people that are willing to do this with you. Hone in on them, help them reach their goals, and help them rank up, and your goals will follow. And I so believe that. Okay, we had a couple of questions that I want to answer before we go. First was IPA. What do I do for IPA? I got this from Brienne Coolidge, and it is a pack. It was actually the December pack, but I just kept the December IPA in there because I think it's the same for all of the packs. I need to go to get the January one, but it basically has, personal stuff on there, like your products and your hydration, your movement, and then personal development. So that's your training a day. And then team page check-in. So if you have a team page, make sure you're checking in with that. Check in with Team Revive. Post on social media, post in your story, wish people a happy birthday, back office report. So if you need to run any back office reports, I kind of do that like once a month, or not once a month, once a week. Look, and also with that, like I look at who was a white line last month and those kinds of things, all those back office things. And then follow up with 3 to 5 team members, build relationships with 3 to 5 people on social media. And then what am I focusing on for the week, and what am I focusing on for the month? So am I hosting an event? Maybe prep for that or get ready for that. And then mapping out, like if I need to, like today, I kind of mapped out the next week on events or things that my team will be doing. I also saw a question about mapping out your goals and what does that mean and what does that look like? That looks like getting in your back office, looking at what gives you credits towards like convention contests is what we're doing right now. So what gives you credits? Basically it's adding people, retaining people, and ranking up those. I mean, basically you get more. I think you get some for having 100 PV or 200 PV or 500 PV. There's something with the PV. And then all of that, people on your team ranking up, you ranking up, people maintaining their rank, you maintaining your rank, you get credits for all these things. So get in your back office, look at that, look at what that entails. What do you need for what you want? How many credits do you need? And then breaking that down. Mapping out goals just in general for me looks like, okay, where do I want to be at the end of the year? Do I want to be Emerald? Okay, Emerald, how many points is that? So if I want to be at Emerald at the end of the year, how many points do I need to gain each month to get me there? Or what months is it going to be beneficial for me to rank up to the next rank in order for me to get to Emerald at that point? Will it always go to plan? No, probably not. If it does, shoot me a message. I want to know how yours went totally to plan without any life hitting fan. Like, please tell me. Probably